trying to tell you something that I already said.
Mic is on. Babish is on. Chapter 10. Flashback. Bitch, you are so fine. You are so fine. The next morning, the boy and I went to breakfast. We'd never done that before. I'd always had to leave to be somewhere the next morning. The couple of other times I'd slept at his. We walked down his hill to a cafe on the boulevard. We invited Abel and Avery, but Abel was busy packing up his life for the foreseeable future, so it was just us. It was nice, I told myself. But it was weird. That wall of resistance started to slice its sharp edge up again between us. It manifested as longer than usual moments of silence, but not the kind full of connection and relaxation. Instead, these were wrapped in a heavy pressure, with a squint of suspicion that peeked out through his eyes and looked at me like I was up to some evil plan to take over his life, or something. But it was subtle enough that I could ignore it and convince myself that everything was good, even though it hurt, more physically than emotionally. His defensive thrust weighed me down, like he had some superpower that could make gravity feel heavier, or something. After breakfast, we walked back to his. What are you gonna do the rest of the day? I'm not sure. My friend's having a birthday party tonight, so probably going to that. It's Abel's last night. I said it with a little hint of protest, like I expected him to want to spend it with us. I know. He said it with the defensiveness of a teenage girl threatening her mom. I'm too sensitive to take his commanding energy when it's anything other than welcoming and nice, so I was quiet, shaken by his tone. What about you? I was thinking of going to a yoga class over here. It starts in like an hour, if you want to come. I don't know. Want to just, lay here and nap for a little, and then I'll decide? Sure. It was like the proclamation of my plan to leave freed him up to be a little nice again. We lay together on the suede green couch, full from our midday breakfast and a little wiped out from the whirlwind of the night before. It got to be time for yoga. He was teetering between the worlds of reality and that other dimension we go to when we sleep when I said, "All right, time to go. What are you feeling?" I'm gonna pass today. Okay. He walked me down the wooden stairs and kissed me lightly goodbye. All right, I'll see you later. Yeah, see you soon. I couldn't help but feel that spinning wheel of anxiety start up behind the base of my front rib cage again, but yoga would help. I hoped. After class, I texted Abel to see what his plan was. When we'd left him the night before, we'd all planned to hang again for his last night. There was a gay disco party that Avery knew about that we'd thrown around the idea of attending, but the boy's weird energy sort of threw a wrench in that. Or so I thought. I think he's going to that B-day, but I'm still down to hang. Are you gonna disco? We're gonna go to dinner. He's coming. Why don't you come over to my house and we'll all go over together? I need to shower. I'll get ready and head to you. Okay, cool. Weird. I guess he was coming after all. Not really sure why he had to be such a dick about it then. When I got to Abel's, the boy and Avery were already there. He was back to his sweet, playful, normal self. For the most part. Only slightly more distant than the night before, but that was too much, honestly. So I was good with it. If not a little thrown by the erraticness of his behavior. But the energy felt light, at least. We all hopped in my car to head to dinner. A song came through the shuffle again, singing to us. Every time my fingers touched, I felt like it would be too much and too little to hang on to. I sang along, not noticing. We went to a burger place, and the boy's energy shifted once more. Like he purposely didn't want to touch me. I don't know how else to describe the feeling other than unsafe. It was very subtle, though. I don't think anyone would have even noticed from the outside. It was more of an inside feeling, in my heart. I just tried to give him space. We ordered our burgers at the restaurant window. The cashier asked if we were a band. LOL. Weird looking band the four of us would be, if you ask me. Tall ass, sweet faced white boy. Little sad-eyed white boy. Mid-sized, sad-eyed black boy. And a little pale-faced girl whose smiling eyes always look like they might be hiding a waterfall of tears. We found our seats on a wooden picnic table in the restaurant's covered patio. Avery and I sat first, across from one another. The boy and Abel waited back for their beers. When they came and sat down next to us, I was almost surprised that the boy sat beside me, though he still made sure to keep a barrier of air between us. I was doing my best life is awesome bit, as if to subconsciously prove to him that his antics weren't affecting me. But the low-level hostility meandering through the air was making me feel uneasy, for sure. What's the plan after this? I want to go to that disco. I'm definitely down to dance. This party they're throwing is a lot of fun, too. I've been once before, said Avery. I have to at least stop by this birthday. It's my last night. I want to dance. You can go to the birthday and then meet us. That shifted something in the boy. Well, you guys could probably just come, too. He finally said, for the first time. I don't know. Where is it? Abel knows how to handle him. Take it off his terms, and he comes running. This bar downtown, I think it's called Apothecary or something. Oh, apothec. It's pronounced apothec, I'm pretty sure. That place is cool. I've only been like once, but it was cool. I don't know. It's my last night, and I really want to dance. Well, that place kind of has dancing, to be honest, Abel. It's a really cool bar, actually. I think you would like it a lot. It's got like potion-themed drinks and a dope little outdoor patio. It's super hidden. It's cool. Come on, man. Listen to Billy. You'll like it. We can go to the disco after. I don't know. They'd started to whine at each other. At this point, they were just fighting to be the one to call the shots. The boy pulled up a photo of him at the bar to show the ambiance and try to convince Abel further. The prospect of losing us had warmed him up like butter. See? He showed us the photo. Let me see that. I took his phone and looked deeply into the boy I saw in the image. He looked different. His hair was longer. He looked serious and mysterious. He's usually confident with others, but not always confident in himself, if that makes sense. Like I said before, he's sensitive, especially with work, and that peeks its way through sometimes. But in this photo, he was deeply in his power. You look like Timmy Chalamet in this photo. You think so? Yeah, serving Timmy vibes for sure. Isn't he? I turned the phone to show Abel and Avery. I don't see it. Avery just smirked at me in agreement. That's shocking to me. It's so blatant here. Like, I don't think it when I look at you here next to me at all, really. But in this photo, yes. He took his phone back and rolled his eyes, starting to warm up again. Yeah, I know. I'm the poor man's Timmy Chalamet. You're not! That's not what I mean. You're special. On your own. Way darker and cooler than him. I wasn't even bullshitting. I really thought that. No shade, Tim Tim. We hopped in my car and drove it back to Abel's to leave it there for our night out. Then called an Uber and headed to the birthday. This place really is one of the coolest places to get a drink in LA, in my opinion. I'm not big on going out like that, and this city is not the best for nightlife, but this place is different. Downtown is sort of a wasteland in and of itself. A city-like remnant of what the town used to be back in the day before GM paid to have the underground train system cemented shut at the turn of the century, so everyone would have to buy cars, putting us in the sprawling, smog-filled, traffic-clogged situation we're in today. But this place is in the middle of industrial downtown, which is downtown's most wastelandy feeling part. Abandoned buildings and vast warehouses line the LA River, which is just a gaping cement runway to drain the city's flash floods on the rare occasion that it rains. The bar overlooks the river, hidden from the street, with no way of knowing it's there unless you know. We walked through the gate, off the street, then up the walkway, to our left, and toward the entrance. A man checked our IDs, and we made our way through a door-like portal to the other side. Plush decor, amber-lit chandeliers, and dark stone walls make the space feel like a mix of a secret speakeasy serving abolition-era liquor in the roaring 20s, and a medieval pharmacy where a long-bearded apothecary compounds worm's wort with frog's breath into a potion to heal your broken heart. The space is relatively small and was pretty crowded on this particular Saturday evening, much more so than the other time I'd been. We made our way through the little sea of people up toward the bar to check out the plethora of themed drinks they refer to as elixirs and tonics. The boy glanced at the menu quickly. Well, will you guys give me a drink? I'm gonna go see where they are. He disappeared out the door onto the patio to find the party. Avery got us all a round of drinks. I was happy to have a little space from the boy now because the hostility had subsided. It's never the space from him that bothers me. It's the truly hostile energy he fills it with. Plus, last night was more intense than anything I signed up for, and I was getting more relieved by the minute that we were finding our way to a new normal. After a couple minutes, he came back and led us out to the party, which consisted of like 3 people sitting outside chilling amidst a collection of candlelit tables and Art Deco couches. The birthday girl looked beautiful, but sad. Heartbroken, even. It emanated out of her like a storm cloud full but holding back its rain. Made me feel sad for her. But what did I know? Maybe I was projecting. Or maybe not. None of my business, I suppose. He introduced us to everyone, and we took our seats with our green and purple drinks, joining the party. Avery and Abel sat on the end, sort of in their own world, and I sat next to a boy named Julian. We hit it off immediately. He was sharp and lively and queer. You could feel he had it in him to be a little mean, but not here. Not to me. I tend to get on with this type of human quite well. I've always gravitated toward and been surrounded by queer folk of all kinds since as long as I can remember. But the mean gay is a specific type that I really know how to wrangle for whatever reason. Maybe I like the validation that they don't hand out freely, or maybe they like the validation from me. A mystery. But I do know that the fabulous persona I take on in these moments is one of my favorite hats to wear. As he was rattling off some story to me, the boy sat across from us, watching without his eyes, quietly, thinking he was going unnoticed. But I noticed. I love being watched. Then, suddenly, through the melody of Julian's banter, a wave came over me. The closest thing to a vision I've ever experienced to date. I gasped, loudly and dramatically, but with nothing but pure truth, and put my hands over my mouth. What? Said Julian. My theatrics startled his story to a halt. The boy now looked at us dead on, thanks to my outburst as well. I looked from right to left at the space we found ourselves in, and something inside sank. My voice changed from Madonna to a sweet little girl as I continued to scan our surroundings. Have you been here before? Yes, once. With these two, actually. He pointed to the boy and another. Why? I gasped again. Where the first one was shock, this one was heartbreak. What is it? What's wrong? The suspense finally made the boy speak up. A series of images flooded my brain as I looked at him. Crushed. Oh no. What? This ruins everything. Ruins what? What are you talking about? My hands fell defeated in my lap as I tried to keep it to myself for a moment longer. I don't even want to say. What is it? Now he had to know. I spoke through a disappointed smile. We've met. You two? He perplexed, pointing to Julian. Well, yes, him too, but us. Me and you. What do you mean? Before. We met here, I think. Before the picnic. He went inward, contemplative, and grabbed his bottom lip between his knuckle and his thumb. I looked at Julian. I think we met here at this bar, right? Do you remember? You know, I thought you seemed familiar, but I thought maybe I'd just seen you in something. No, I'm pretty sure we met here, right over there. I pointed across the patio from us. Oh my goodness, I think you're right. I'm pretty sure I got your number. Let me see. I searched his name. Nothing came up. Weird. Wait, try Holden. Sure enough, Holden, there it was. He looked over my shoulder. Yep, that's me. Wait, why did you give me a fake name? No, we were in character for our pilot. I told everyone I met during that time that my name was Holden. Oh, got it. Sick, bro. I can't believe this is where we're meeting again. That's the only other time I've been here. I know, same here. How bizarre. But wait, what does that ruin? I managed to get it out through the shattered wreckage of my fantasy. We met at a picnic and both thought we knew each other. But we didn't. But maybe we did. But we barely spoke. I looked at the boy with puppy dog eyes. Do you remember? I'm not sure. I talked to Julian for like an hour, but you were rolling around watching us silently, all mysterious, like a weirdo? That sounds right. I don't know. I was so drunk that night we came here. The image he'd shown us earlier on his phone when trying to convince Abel flashed into my mind. I burst out laughing. What? I know what'll make you remember. What? I only said one thing to you the whole night, and you'll remember when I tell you. I laughed harder and longer this time because it was all so weird and silly and dumb. What? It was like before he was big, so I wasn't sure you were gonna know who I was talking about, but you did. I was just about to leave, and I looked at you and said, you have Timmy vibes. His eyes lit up with a light bulb of recognition. That was you? That was me. You're the pretty girl from the bar? The sweetness of the comment started to pick up the pieces of my broken dream, and his grabbing both my hands in a cross-handed clutch, my right in his right, and my left in his left, also helped. It's okay. What does that ruin? I just thought we knew each other. From another life or something. But it was just here. Sad. It's not sad. I think it's cool. It's funny, really, that my reaction was so dramatically negative, because if you think about it, that just makes everything even crazier than it already was. Sure, maybe we just recognized each other from the bar, but we didn't. We recognized each other at the bar. When I met Julian and the boy and their other forgettable friend months before the picnic with a capital P, before I knew Abel and had only just barely met Lil, I was struck by the experience 4 days after. Like I said, I only spoke one fleeting sentence to the boy, but his energy struck me so deeply in the moment that it truly stayed with me 4 days. On that night, I was out with those folks who had just started to make me a bit nauseous. And the boy and his friends felt like an oxygen tank at my bottom of the ocean. A breath of fresh air, if you will. So much so that I left those friends for an hour and chatted the night away with Julian instead. I even told another friend the following day how much they felt like magic. And even though Julian and I had exchanged phone numbers, we left it at that. But the universe clearly had other plans facilitated by the beloved little picnic with a capital P. But while I know this, I think what really bummed me out was that I knew this would fit into the boy's logic-bound mind as the sole explanation for our familiarity, when I wish he would just let in a little magic and faith every once in a while. But you can't change people, and I do love his differing worldview, to be honest. Because for all its logic and science and skepticism, it's always open. And in that sense, in my mind, it's just two sides of the same coin. Another beautiful, albeit less trusting, way to look at life. I want to go dance. Let's go. Abel's emphatic voice broke through my pity party, urging me to get on with my life. The boy looked into my eyes, still holding both my hands as if in preparation for a figure skating trick. Ready? Yeah. The four of us gathered ourselves, said our goodbyes, and left the broken birthday princess in her sea of candles and queers. There are helicopters riding all around my house, so I have to pause for a moment, okay? The disco was fun. I don't know if it was the drinks letting him forget to keep up his guard or the exhaustion of holding that wall up against his heart's will or what, but he was back to not letting me out of his touch, let alone his sight. Which, honestly, I wish we could find a happy and healthy medium here, people. It's like he starves himself of it as much as he can until he gets so exhausted that he just has to surrender to the magnet and melt into my body. It's like, bro, if you would just let shit be, maybe it could just be. Anyway, Abel got his wish. We danced. We danced the motherfucking night away. Salem met us with the girl they were seeing at the time, and the six of us elevated the level of hype on that dance floor to pure joy. The boy was cute. Just the night before, he was saying how he doesn't like dancing because he doesn't really know how. But he danced. With me. With his forehead against mine, we got down. At one point, the boy and I went outside for a cigarette. I don't really smoke, and neither does he, but we both do. You know, like with a few drinks or when under an immense amount of stress. Though the latter scenario has truly only happened on like one occasion for me. Otherwise, usually if I try to hit a cig without at least a drink, or probably two really, in my system, I'll have to lie down after from pure just disgust, I guess. It just does not sit well with me unless I'm already intoxicated. But if I am, I can bizarrely have like 3. He's pretty similar with a little higher tolerance to it than me, I think. Everyone warns, this is how it starts, but I don't know, this level of dabbling has always worked for me. I'll buy a pack on the rare occasion and it'll last me 6 months or more. We went out and around the side of the building and he propped his butt up on a ledge leaning against the wall in the alley like he thought he was James Dean. But only through his soul. Never anything put on or external. He pulled me toward him between his legs to lean against him while he lit up the cig. He dragged it, and as he did, I could feel the surrender flowing through his system. The enjoyment of the cig and the moment and the touch. He passed it to me and watched me smoke it with contentment in his eyes, just relaxed, enjoying my company. We talked about nothing with smiles in our eyes, made out for a little and went back inside. The sweaty dance floor gave us a final hit of life, and then we all hopped in an Uber back to Abel's. It was late, And we were tired when we got back to his spot, so we said our goodbyes outside the entrance to the lobby. I hugged Abel tightly with a crack in my heart because although we all decided to maybe get breakfast the next day, I knew we probably wouldn't. I knew this would probably be the last we'd see him before he left. But it didn't hurt too badly because the cushion of the boy's touch felt like it would be a safe place to lean while he was gone. Plus, Abel was unfazed by his leaving, always confident that everything will fall into place exactly as it's meant to be. So that was reassuring. They went inside, leaving the boy and I in the garage. He looked at me, unsure. So do you want to come to mine? Or what do you think? Yeah. I said it like I was confused as to that even being a question. Where else would I go? Not to mine. But the timidness in his voice struck some subliminal chord in me that made me say, my car's here. And I shouldn't drive, so it's better if I sleep at yours and get it in the morning. Okay, sweet. Just that little qualifier eased his mind. Otherwise, 2 sleepovers in a row might make him spontaneously combust, a truth that passed over my head because I chose not to notice. Back at his, we were giggly and silly, tumbling down his hall back to his room. He kissed me. I kissed him back. He touched me. I touched him back. We came at the same time. Again. Interesting. What? I usually can't come if I drink. 'Cause of my medicine. He kissed me on the forehead and I didn't press for more. I knew his medicine meant anti-anxiety. I fell asleep in his arms. The next morning we went to breakfast. Abel didn't come. It was nice. No weird bad vibes this time. He drove me up the street back to my car after we ate. I leaned in to kiss him, and as I pulled away, he grabbed me, keeping me close to his face. I want you to go home, and I want you to touch yourself, and think about me until you come. I smiled. Okay. Okay. Good. I had a ticket waiting on my windshield. Again, couldn't be a sign.
Standing in the open light within the swelter of the night, I found myself staring at you. And every time my fingers touched, I felt like it would be too much and too little to hang on to. I cannot fall in love with you. I cannot feel this way so soon, so soon. I cannot be this way with you. I cannot fall in love with you. I knew it when you looked my way, that I'll be begging you to stay. I couldn't say it to myself. I couldn't say it to myself. I felt it burning in the way I held on when you pulled away. I couldn't say it to myself. I couldn't say it to myself. I knew it when you looked my way, that I'll be begging you to stay. I couldn't say it to myself. I couldn't say it. I couldn't say it. Say it. I couldn't say it to myself. I couldn't say it to myself. I couldn't say it. I couldn't say it. But I cannot fall in love with you. I cannot feel this way so soon, so soon. I cannot be this way with you. I cannot